Welcome everyone to this video. In this video, we'll look at navigation in Photoshop. So let's start. So first, let's create a new document, 190 1920 by 180 standard landscape HD resolution, and let's hit create. Now let me just go to view extras. For some reason they show up, but let's just forget that and let's look at navigation in Photoshop. So first, let's open up three images, any three images, any three to any images, so we can learn navigation. So the pictures are ready for me here, so I'll just select them and put them right here. So now there are four different documents and three different pictures. So I'll actually delete one of them, for example this, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, hello. So I'm making an abrupt cut in the video, and that is because I forgot to tell you in the original video that we can also open up these images by going to File and then Open and then selecting the images and then clicking on Open. And the way I did it was by going in this PC and then selecting these images and then dragging them not on the canvas but on this line where the documents are, and just leave the mouse. And now all of these images are in separate documents. So this was the way I did it, but I forgot to tell you the other way in the original video, so that's why I made the abrupt cut. But now let's continue in the video. Now let's look at navigation in Photoshop. So first what we will do is move these images, we'll move these images to this like blank document, like all of them will be stacked like this, three images. So first let's start with this. There are three methods, that's why I said three images, but you can choose as many as you want. So the first method is by duplicating. So right click and then duplicate layer, and then in the document, right now it will duplicate in this document, but we want it to duplicate in untitled one, so I'll pick untitled one, which is the blank document, and then we can name it anything. For example, landscape 1, let's just type in L1. Okay, so now you'll see nothing happen, but if I go to untitled one, we have our image right here. So now how to resize it? So the first shortcut of the video, Control T. And before that, I just realized for Control T, you'll have to first zoom out. So let me tell you what the shortcut keys of zoom in and out are. So they are Control plus plus or Control minus minus, or there's an alternate method. We can just click on the Alt key and then use the mouse scroll wheel. If we move it inwards, it'll zoom in. If we move it outwards, it will zoom out. So preferably I use this Alt method, but you can use Control plus and minus. And also there's another method which is zooming, which is not zooming, the zoom tool. Here you can see I clicked on the zoom tool and we have a plus icon, and if I click on it, it will zoom in, and if we want to make this plus icon into minus, that will zoom out. We'll just hold on Alt and then click click click, and as you can see the sign changed to minus and we can zoom out. So now let's hit Control T. T stands for transform, and then we'll Control minus minus minus, and then we'll resize this image. And we want to perfectly resize this image, as if we just like hold this and resize, it will deform. So if you want to perfectly resize it, we'll hold down Shift key, and now if we resize it, the dimensions are just perfect. So I'll just move it somewhere around here and just hit enter. Now another shortcut key is if you want your document to be perfectly aligned, like I don't know how to describe it, but like perfectly zoomed in your canvas, what you can do is press Ctrl and 0. So basically this is like the best orientation for working. So but preferably I just keep it like this, a little zoomed out. And what was the shortcut for zooming out? Just try to remember, it was Control minus. Yes, Control minus minus. So preferably I just keep my documents like this, but most people could like to keep it like this, like perfectly placed, and its shortcut key is Control Z. So now let's look at panning. So what is panning? Like just moving around here and there. Like for example, if I'm zoomed in, like I want to go to the other side of the image, what we can do, there are three ways of panning. So either just use these old bars, but none of like no one uses these bars. So we have another option. We have this hand tool. Its shortcut key is H. You can see it right here, and we can just click on the hand tool and then just pan here and there. Or there's an alternate method, which is the keyboard shortcut, another one. Just try to keep remembering it. And we have spacebar. So if we click on spacebar, it turns into a hand. We just have to hold down spacebar till we are panning, and then we can move here and there. And if you're like thinking like there are too many shortcuts here and you're like confused, make sure to note them somewhere so it gets easier for you. So now let's bring the other image in this document. So let's go to this Air and Visuals by Unsplash, and let's unlock it. So whenever you're working, make sure to unlock your layer, and because if the layer is locked, we cannot move it. Here you can see the current selected layer is a background layer. You cannot move a background layer because it's locked. So let's just unlock it, which is just like click on the lock and it will get unlocked. And if you're an older version, I think you have to double click it and then give it a name and then OK, and that's how it will get unlocked. So the second method of moving the image is just take the image, drag, and then move it to the like untitled document, and don't like just press the left key, like of the mouse left key, and then place it right here. So now we have our second image. Now we'll zoom out, which is Control minus minus minus, and then Control T as in transform, and then we want to perfectly resize it. We'll hold down Shift and then put it anywhere on this document. For example, this, and enter, and now we'll hit Control 0. Amazing. So now to bring in the third image, the other way of importing images into the same document is just going to this PC and just selecting one image or how many images you want. So I think we have to import this Samuel Ferrara image from Unsplash. So let's just click on it and drag, and just leave it, and our image is right here. Just hit enter, and then we can transform it by Control T, hold down Shift, and then we can resize it. So hit enter. So this was basically it for navigation in Photoshop, and please do try this exercise. This really works. So just make a new document, like get 3 images from anywhere, My personal favorite is unsplash.com, where you can get free, high quality, royalty free photos. So, but you can get the photos from anywhere and stack 3 photos and practice zooming out in panning using transform and control 0. So this was it for navigation, and in the next lessons we'll look at cropping. So I'll meet you there.